Morning, everyone. I think we can get started. I just hope nobody's lost because we had like 70 registrations. But anyway, let's get started. So, um, okay, perfect. So, welcome to AsyncAPI Conference on Tour, Bengaluru edition. My name is Thuli. I'm the community manager of AsyncAPI, and yeah, it's lovely to meet you all today. We had 4 editions. We have 4 editions this year, and this one in Bengaluru is our 3rd edition. So I'm so excited that the turnout is great, even though it's not as expected, but still, I'm so excited that everybody's here. And we have a fantastic lineup as well, so I hope everybody gets to learn from our speakers as well. So I'll be doing a talk on everything you always, or everything you want to know about AsyncAPI. Okay, it's backwards. All right, so one of the burning questions that we always get from AsyncAPI is, how is it different from OpenAPI? And this is one of the top queries on Google search. It's also on the AsyncAPI docs. The first docs that is always researched is how, coming from OpenAPI, how do you use AsyncAPI? And on our AsyncAPI blog, AsyncAPI versus OpenAPI, written by Jesse, by the way, is ranked on Google search. So let's first look at the similarities. So both AsyncAPI and OpenAPI are part of the Linux Foundation, which is an open source organization. So all our vendors or all our users that adopt AsyncAPI and OpenAPI don't have to worry about being charged or have like open source licenses where we charge money. Everything is free and open source. And as some of you know, if you have been part of the community, AsyncAPI was inspired by OpenAPI. And for our AsyncAPI 2.0 docs, it's quite very similar with OpenAPI. But things are about to change soon because version 3 of AsyncAPI is coming out on the 6th of December. So make sure you tune in on our social media. We have announcements on what's coming and the features that are coming as well. So let's look at the differences between OpenAPI and AsyncAPI. So the first thing, AsyncAPI is protocol agnostic, which means that we support multiple protocols, not only HTTP. So we've got MQTT, Kafka, Apache, Pulsar, of which I see a lot of talks today. We'll be explaining this in a better way. So I'm so excited to actually really listen to the technical details that go with this. And also at AsyncAPI, we do not only focus on the specification, but we also have tools that different contributors contribute to and maintain as well. Of which I'm so excited, some of the maintainers are here and some of the contributors are here as well. So let's get to see about the growth of AsyncAPI. So over the engagement overall, from last year, from September 2023 till today, from September 2022 to today, our growth have gone up by 51%, of which we are pretty doing well, and people get to recognize the work that we're doing at AsyncAPI. When it comes to download on the React component, I know I've heard a lot, especially last year on the conference when Lucas was presenting. There was a lot of biases, like how can you get 2 million downloads? But yeah, I'm not the right person to answer this question, but yeah, we got over 2 million downloads on the React component. Then our spec, which is downloaded via GitHub, if I'm not mistaken, we have like 12 million downloads, of which we are doing pretty much very good at this moment. And our issue history, so as you can see, like the statistics, from the blue line, you can see how many issues we have opened up this year, from last year until now, and you can see how the rate that we are trying to resolve the issues. Of which, yes, I may understand that the gap is a bit bigger between these two, of which I will explain why, and we are trying our best, but yeah, I will give an explanation later why there's a bit of a wide gap, but yeah, we are trying. And AsyncAPI is big on contributors and open source. So each and every month we are growing from strength to strength, I have to say. And so far we have like 2K contributors that are actively contributing to the project. So let's talk about the pains, the community pains that we currently have. So number one, like I said earlier on, that there's a wide gap between the issues, the contribution issues and the resolved issues, is because of the lack of maintainers, of which many open source projects struggle from this. So we are not far off, but we are hoping to solve this in the coming year. The second thing is event-driven APIs are internal. So majority, I'll be explaining this in a while. So the reason why we don't have like a lot of case studies available is that the adoption of AsyncAPI is internal. So majority will want like to share how they really use AsyncAPI because they use it internal and for security reasons. But from the past presentations that we had at AsyncAPI, these are some of the end users that adopt the spec. We've got Raisin Bank, we've got Lego Group, we've got the Bank of New Zealand, we have Zora Robotics, which adopt AsyncAPI on an IoT level. We also have Adobe. We also recently found that on the AsyncAPI conference tour in London, where they shared a presentation of how they adopt the spec on the docs level. And we've got Citibank, we have Slack, and GitHub. But there is light at the end of the tunnel because we have one case study that we're willing to like share how they internally use the spec, and which is IDEO Bank. Which is IDEO. And if you'd like to know how this is detailed on our case study, you can go on the community, then you can check out the case studies. And hopefully by this time next year, this list would have grown exponentially. So we also have vendors that also adopt the spec. We have SAP, we have Google, we have Salesforce, we have AWS, which adopt like the SNS and the SQS bindings. Then we have our IBM. They also give us like, we also have contributors that come and maintain the spec as well. And they are one of our sponsors, our biggest sponsors. And they also sponsors the conference for London edition. So we are very grateful for them. Then we also have Postman. We are our platinum sponsors as well. And thank you to them. We are here today. They are sponsoring us today. Then we also have Solace as well. So let's talk about money. Let's talk about money, right? So for many people will be like, how can an open source project spend like an annual budget of 65K? Where has that happened before? Well, at AsyncAPI, we are big spenders. We are very big spenders, and we make sure that our sponsorship money goes a long way for the project. So I'm going to explain where the sponsorship money and the finances come from. So first things first, we have the AsyncAPI mentorship program. So after we were rejected for the Google Summer of Code, we didn't make it through in the 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So on 2022, we've decided that why can't we adopt our Google Summer of Code, but in an AsyncAPI way. So we started up with the AsyncAPI mentorship program. So some of the funds gets allocated to the mentees that come and contribute to the project. So Ace and the team, they are doing a pretty much great job at AsyncAPI, especially when it comes to the mentorship program. And I'm sure there are other mentees who are here as well who have benefited from the mentorship program. Then we've got like open source grants. We receive open source grants from GSOC and GSOT. This is where we receive grants so that we can train mentees for technical writing, and they can contribute also for code as well. And I'm also a product of GSOD. I also contributed under this program to the AsyncAPI technical writing program. And I'm happy that some of the presenters later on are also part of the GSOD program as well. You will get to see the work that they're currently doing. Then we have the AsyncAPI Ambassador Program. So this program is for people who speak about AsyncAPI, contribute about AsyncAPI, preach the gospel of AsyncAPI in general. And we are hoping to expand this project into university so that university students can participate. Hopefully, it's one of our goals for 2024. Then we have the AsyncAPI Bounty Program. Open source doesn't have to be free. So we try as much as possible to make sure that our maintainers, our contributors get something from the project. They don't have to, their contributions don't have to be free. So this is our way of giving back by creating the AsyncAPI Bounty Program. We did a test run earlier this year, and it was a success, and now the program is in full swing, and I'm very happy that the first quarter is about to end, and we are hoping to expand this next year. Then we also have hiring through Open Collective. So I'm currently hired through Open Collective to work full-time on AsyncAPI. So yes, some of the sponsorships come in handy to also for me to work like full-time on open source and focus on the community. And we are hoping that next year, we can expand the team. And obviously, the AsyncAPI Conventor, yes. So in order for us to branch out, like we have like our Conventor where we host our conferences in different cities, where our contributors and where our sponsors are available. So this is where the money goes. So yeah, like I said, we are big spenders and we know how to spend money at AsyncAPI. So finally, we are nothing without the community. What makes us great is because of all the contributors and all the maintainers that come in helping the project, and also to our sponsors as well. We are nothing without the community, and that's what makes us great. And I'm sure we are growing, we are learning, and as we grow also, we will have like a lot to share. So that will be all for my talk today. Like I said, it's a very simple talk. So I hope for those who don't know AsyncAPI, it has given you like a brief like introduction about everything you want to know about the community. And yeah, you can also join us on our Slack channel. We are very active on Slack, on GitHub for contributors. We have Twitter, we have LinkedIn. And yeah, I would like to say thank you.